Hi everyone, this is Danielle, and today I'm going to do a quick flip through of my hobo. I'm going to do the month of October, and I'm doing the month of October so I can show you a few different things, especially since I traveled during the month of October. Thank you for all the comments on my videos. I do appreciate it, and I'm happy to keep recording as long as they continue to be useful to you. Again, I'm still in my golden honey cover. I do switch out of it every now and then, but I do love this cover. I cannot deny. So I'm thinking about switching for the next week, but I know me, if I do switch, that I'll probably be back in here before next week. I have used my hobo all year to plan, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I often flirt with other planners. I do use a pocket planner in my purse to kind of keep track of things, and I use it as my wallet. That has been working well. I've also used a passport, and I've also used a pocket size for the same purpose. Those work well. The one thing I always need with me is a monthly calendar, so that you have seen. I've changed up my book a little bit. One of the things I have really fallen in love with is digital paper on Etsy. And forgive me, I don't remember which store this is from. Usually what I will do is when I'm looking for a specific pattern or style of paper, I will type in, for instance, fall plaid digital paper. And then I will pick the ones that are at a good price, the ones I love. One of my favorite stores is actually Digital Designs by Jody, throwing some scraps around. I love her papers. I love her ephemera. She has great sales. And from what I can gather, following her on Instagram and how she is with customers, she seems to be a very sweet woman. So I've redone the front page of my hobo. I'm not done yet. There's a few more things I want to do to this. Not done yet, but I have redone the front page. Another thing I've done is I've removed my tabs. And the reason why I removed the tabs is because, quite frankly, I wasn't using them. And the other reason, one of the things I love about my hobo is honestly just flipping through it like this and just getting little glimpses of my life as I flip through. This sticker here is from Annie Gephardt. She was very sweet. They had done a Foxy Fix planning group, and because the Foxy Fix group moved from a business page to a fan page, they kind of closed that group. But while the group was open, she did these stickers for the members of the group. So sweet, so pretty. Just love it. It was a collab with Annie, Fox, and Pip. And please forgive me, I can't think of the other one. But I really enjoyed it. So getting to October, and again, I just flipped. And I do have washi tape on the edges the first of the month. So that also helps to do it. I took some distress ink and I did the edges of my book, and then each month I did in a color. So that's another way I can easily find the months. So October, here is my coming up page, and I've had fun. I've done a lot of different things with my coming up page. So this one, I went back to what I had done earlier in the year. I did a tag. I did one of the Julie Nutting dolls, which I love Julie Nutting dolls. Did a pumpkin from the same set. Enjoyed it. This stamp is from Love Cynthia, and the majority of my stamps in my book are from Love Cynthia or Sweet Stamp Shop. Now I do have a few others. I do have other favorite stamps, but by and large, those are the majority of the ones that I have. And then of course my Julie Nutting dolls that I love Julie Nutting. So stickers in my book, how I set up my page, and this month I did do the Hobonichi challenge. I haven't finished it yet, but I did. I did quite a few days of it, so much hasn't changed. This was a Sunday. I was on call this day, so the orange lines that you see, that's when I received a donor offer. Now, I was bad this day, and I honestly did not go to bed until 1 a.m. Really bad thing to do when the next day is a work day. I am a Colts fan. Sad season, but I'm still a Colts fan. So I'm keeping track of games and putting the scores. As you see, they lost. I don't use a lot of stickers in my book, but I do use some, and there's a couple of favorites that I have. If I make my own, I love using the clear label paper for a couple of reasons. One, I love the look that it gives on this paper. The other reason is it's really thin and doesn't add any bulk to the Hobonichi. Sweet Kawaii Design is another one of my favorites. They're really thin and they don't add much bulk to the paper. Now, got gas this day just for long-term memory keeping. One of the things I do is I keep track of the cost of gas or milk. So if I'm the one actually doing the purchasing that day, I will write it down. I'm not always the one who does the purchasing. My husband's pretty good about getting milk and getting gas for me. This other sticker is from Planning Made Perfect, another one of the stickers that I love, and I do like the call ones to make the fact that I'm on call stand out. I do record the weather, and I record sunrise and sunset. Obviously, this isn't to the minute, but when you look at the big picture, you can see how the time changes. So these are done with watercolor. So my bat and my Frankenstein. And if you look, another thing I've been doing is I've been putting verses here, and I really like that. So it's something I have continued for quite a while. I do keep track of sad events that happen in the world. So, and of course my schedule, I write in my schedule, and I do from 6 to 10. That's pretty much my waking hours. My 24 hours is up here. So this is really just to keep track of what I'm doing when. This is a work-related thing. We have a QB that we do for clinic to help run the clinic and direct everybody. So this was my day to be the queen bee. I prefer queen bee to quarterback, still QB. So I do keep track of steps, and I haven't gone back and written October steps in. I usually do it retroactively for the month, and I haven't done that yet. So here I wrote no Fitbit, and again, just writing, drawing, coloring, keeping track. I have not, for whatever reason, I didn't get the weather written down this day. So what I do when this happens is there is an app that I use called WeatherMate, and it can pull up history for weather for anywhere. So what I will do is I will pull it up and go back and fill it in at some point. Now, here's something I wanted to show you. I was traveling this day. I was traveling from Indy to Richmond, Virginia. So what I will do is I'll put the weather between the two cities. So I will put them there. And then when I'm in a different city other than home, I will record the city. And the sunrise and the sunset are for the day in that particular city. So Saturday, I was traveling home. No, I was already home. I take that back. It's Friday. I was traveling home. So Sunday, it was my daddy's birthday. So big deal. Actually, his 70th birthday. Every birthday's a big deal, but this was his 70th. So big deal. And of course, grateful for my daddy. I do write my gratitude. Well, actually, I do write it every day. I take it back. A lot of times you will see that I'm grateful for the same things over and over. And I feel that's okay to repeat what I'm grateful for, because it makes me remember why I am grateful. Now, here is a day I did not track my time at all. My sleep or wake, I did not work this day. Yay! But I didn't, so I have no idea, but that's okay. I forgive myself. Life happens. This was, clown was the theme for the Hobonichi challenge this day. And I love how my little Nemo turned out. So drawing isn't my gift. So when something turns out really cute, I am pretty darn excited. And again, just more of the challenges. continuing my quotes. So I was actually pretty pleased with my Casper as well. And again, I'm traveling, so went from Wisconsin to Kentucky. I had a meeting this day, so you'll notice that before I had the color green, now I have the color purple, plus I have the color orange. So the green and the purple represent two different organizations that I'm a part of and on the board for. So those colors represent those particular meetings. Orange represents work. So here I put the weather, and then here I put the weather for the day that we are here in Kentucky. I put the sunrise and sunset for Kentucky that day, and they are actually on Central Time, so that's why there's a huge difference. Here we're in Tennessee, and I actually didn't write that here, but we are in Tennessee this day. So more just keeping more of the Hobonichi challenge. Went to a new restaurant here. We had not gone to this restaurant before. So new restaurants, movies, things like that, I will put down a little rating for it just to remind myself in the future. So here, if you see in the pencil, I wrote down what the prompts are, but as you can see, actually I decided not to do this one this day. I just did not like the prompt at all, so I wasn't going to force myself to do it. So I wrote down the prompts for each day, what they were. I haven't gone back. This was a really bad day. I only had one glass of water. I still track water because I'm horrible at drinking water. I don't drink many fluids. I'm very bad at it. The World Series started, so you'll see where I kept track of the World Series. I do like planning in pencil. I know it makes it difficult to read sometimes, but I do like planning in pencil. Didn't put gratitude that day. That's actually quite unusual for me. So here I was at work, but it was a conference, so it wasn't a regular work day. So you'll see that it's an open box instead of a filled in box. Here I went to bed but could not go to sleep for whatever reason. So an open box for when I was trying to go to sleep but didn't sleep. So more pages. So nothing too exciting. And now we get to November, and did something a little different. This paper is from Digital Designs from Jody, and this is one of my Julie Nutting dolls. This is a stamp that I had. It's a wooden block stamp, and I don't have many of those left. I really do prefer the acrylic, but this is left. I had it forever, so I like to use that a lot in the fall time. This is, and I know there's a horrible glare on here, but this is a lace tape that I got on Amazon. I like the effect that it adds. It's very subtle. It's kind of a pain to work with, but it's very subtle. So, and again, more just recording. So November is much the same. So let me get here. I've shown this before. Here is my blank setup. So I've been using this setup with very little change pretty much all year. If you look back, this is actually January 1. Other than adding the time, very little change to my setup. This has remained the same. This has remained the same. So I think this works for me. Now, I do have my hobo for 2018. I've started working on it, but I'm not going to do a lot of the setup like this. I will do that a month at a time. And the reason why I only do a month at a time is because if I do need to change my setup, I'm not committed for a year or anything like that. I can change it. So again, I write in my hourly. I still need to write in my daily scripture reading and things like that, but that's how it's set up. And here is the blank page. Now, one thing I did do, because I've been doing this for 3 years now, is I put my water stamp and I put my circle stamp. My circle stamp I use to track my mood, water, of course, water, and that I did do for the year. So all through December, it's all done. So again, my weekly supplement. So that has actually changed how I set it up. So I like the weekly supplement. One thing I did differently this month is, instead of putting a dog quote or a quote up here, excuse me, dog hair, even I used to put a quote up here, but I started making this a to-do list, and I think I like the to-do list a little better up there. I'm fine with using stickers here. Since this is a small book, if it gets bulky, it's not a huge deal. Some weeks are very plain and boring, and some have a little more going on, and I'm okay with that. So I'm cool with that. This was our fall break week. I didn't have to-dos because our to-do was to spend time together as a family and enjoy time away. So I put an image there instead. So, and here is this week. So, or actually, no, that was a couple of weeks ago. So I haven't planned this week. I typically do my planning on Sunday, so that's something I will do today. I don't use a lot of washi tape, but I do use it some. One of the things I learned from my Hobonichi cousin a couple of years ago is don't put stickers or washi in the same place every day, because if you do, you're going to get a horrible ridge, and that drove me batty. So there are times where I don't use the week at all, and I'm okay with that. I'm really learning to forgive myself if for whatever reason I don't plan that day, don't plan that week. I'm just learning to forgive myself. So that's kind of my story. I'm sticking to it. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.